Jump right on it, get right into it. We're going to talk about the art of inviting. And inviting is a really interesting thing. It's really the key. It's like the one skill set that you have to master in this business. And when we talk about the art of inviting, that's exactly what we're talking about. It's an art form. It's like not a science. It's not like exact. It's not the only thing you can do. You know, one thing you do the same thing every time. It's not like that. It becomes a thing that you learn to feel the prospect. You learn to understand who you're talking to. You get comfortable with it so you're not out of sorts when you're talking to people. Sometimes when people start to invite and they've got this objective and they know they want to invite people to look at the opportunity, they want to invite people to look at Age Like Me, whatever it might be, whether it's a product approach or it's the business approach, sometimes they just aren't comfortable. It's like you don't feel comfortable in your own words or your own skin, so to speak. And so this is something that what we want to do is talk about today, hopefully get you comfortable with it, help you understand it, kind of in a framework, if you will, about how to invite. Remember, as we talk about inviting, that the words you say are less important than how you say those words. It's way more important that you say them with enthusiasm, sincerity, not breathless, not crazy, but just matter of fact, direct, clear. People understand what you're asking them to do or asking them for, and they have really, your conviction behind them. That's the most important thing when it comes to inviting. The tone of your voice, the excitement level that you have, the conviction in your voice that you can hear what you're saying, they can hear that you're committed to it. Those are more important things. But let me give you a framework today that hopefully will help you as you're out there contacting people. We start off in this business when we do contacting, we start off with our warm circle. We talk about family, friends, business, and community contacts, FFBC, right? Everybody's got these 4 networks already part of their life. If you've grown up to the age of 20 years old, then you've got thousands of people that you've met through the course of your life that are part of these particular networks. Family members, friends, business, and community contacts. So think about your most successful family member, your most successful friend, your most successful business contact, most successful people in your community. And that can be a club you belong to, a neighborhood center, it can be a church you go to, or something along those lines, maybe, government, whatever it might be. So everybody's got these particular people in their lives. The great news is all of them have skin. All of them need to take care of their skin and their body. They want to anti-age. They want to look better. We've got something that every one of these people want. They just don't know what it is yet so that they understand it, right? Okay, so let's talk about the framework of inviting. How do you actually think about doing an invite? Well, first of all, you got to make a connection with the person, right? And the entire invite, once you start into the invite, happens after the connection. So we may spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes catching up with somebody that we've not talked to for 10 years. We don't want to just jump right into the invite when we haven't talked to them forever and just go, hey, I've got this thing that'll roll 10 years off your face in 5 minutes and I want to come over and show it to you. You're obviously going to warm up the conversation first. When you reconnect with people, the most important thing is they're your friends, your family, your contacts, whoever they are. They're an important individual in your life. The individual is more important than anything else, even whether they accept the business or the product approach or not at this point. It's important to keep that contact. The way I look at it is, I've been in Nu Skin for 27 and a half years, and when I started Nu Skin, I didn't start it for just a little while. I was fully committed to it. I knew that it was going to take some time to be very successful at it. And so I knew that every person that I knew, every contact that I'd ever made, anybody I ever talked to even about Nu Skin, I wanted to keep track of that. I wanted to keep their name. I wanted to make sure that I had a way to get back to them. I never wanted to burn a bridge with them. I just wanted to make sure that I always end up having a great ending to the call, perhaps a door that's left open for me to contact them in the future and talk to them when it's a better time in their life. And we've talked about this a lot, right, in terms of the timing of a prospect in their life. I believe every person gets to 12 o'clock. That's where both hands are straight up on the clock, right? I think everybody gets there at some point. And to me, when they're at 12 o'clock, what that means is they're ready for a change. They're open. They're looking for something. They're tired of what they're doing. They just realize they're not going to make it financially, or they're not going to get ahead, or they're not going to have the time, freedom, and control of their life that they want to have. And so these are all things that get people to 12 o'clock in their life. So sometimes people are at 11 o'clock, and you know what? They're just not quite ready yet. You know, they haven't quite got straight up to 12 o'clock. Sometimes they're 6 o'clock, and they're a long way away from even thinking about doing something on their own, having their own business, or looking at this as an opportunity for their future. So what you have to realize is that you can do the perfect invite. You can follow this format that I'm going to teach you exactly, and it can still result in no thank you, not interested, not now. And that's just part of the game that we're doing here. You probably read the book that, Getting to Know. You got to get as many no's as you can, because what that means is you're getting closer to a yes. And it's just really a numbers game, and you've got to be willing to go through the numbers to find people that are at 12 o'clock today, right now. They're ready to go. So let's talk about the framework then. So I have this introductory phase. It's a reacquainting phase or a reconnecting phase, or if they are people I talk to every day or every week, I just call them on the phone, and that phase is, what's up, how you doing? Okay, I need to talk to you about something. It's like 15 seconds, okay? People you haven't talked to for a long time, it's going to be several minutes of connecting and catching up, and how's family, and what are you doing, and these kind of things. And then you say, hey, the reason I'm calling is about business. Soon as you say that, the clock starts ticking, okay? And we don't want to go more than 2 or 3 minutes once we say that phrase. Hey, the reason I'm calling tonight or today is about business. I've got something that I want to show you. And you could say also, hey, the reason I'm calling is about an amazing breakthrough product. You could say that one as too. As soon as you say those phrases, the clock starts. And we've got 4 things that we're going to think about during this inviting process. I call them the 4 C's of inviting. So we're going to compliment somebody about something sincerely that we like about them or what they do. Number 2, we're going to then create curiosity. And this is the key phase of inviting. We want to have some power statements or some things we're going to say that create curiosity. And we want to get that curiosity as high as we can get it, and we want to keep it there. And that leads us to point number 3, the 3rd C of inviting, which is to control yourself. And I actually say it 3 times. Control yourself, control yourself, control yourself. Don't blabber, don't drone on, don't just keep running your mouth, because that's going to be detrimental to keeping the curiosity really high. And then number 4 is commit. We've got to have them commit to whatever the action is or the objective is that we want them to commit to, whether that's to get on a webinar, to get on a 3-way call with my upline or my sponsor, to attend an event that's happening in town, to have me come to their house and do a half-face demonstration, any of those things, right? So those are the 4 C's of inviting. Compliment them. Don't do it unless you got a sincere compliment. And I have people that I would say, look, John, I've admired what you've done in your career for a long time. I've always wanted to do business with you in some way. And I think I might have something that would allow us to work together, that we could have an opportunity to work together. And so that is, the phrase that you may want to use. Or it's like, I've got the most unbelievable device, absolute revolutionary technology, multiple patents, going to completely flip this $400 billion industry on its head. It's going to completely change it. We're the first ones really to know about it, to understand what's happening, and I want to come show it to you. So basically, I give a compliment first. I've always admired your work ethic. You're super sharp in what you do. You're really organized. I know that once you set your mind to something, you really make it happen. You're consistent. You're focused. You're a habit-forming person with great habits. Anything, any one of these things can be great. I know that you care about what you look like. You always take care of yourself. You're into health and wellness and fitness. Those are all compliments that you can give somebody, and they just, they're sincere, right? You don't need to gush all over somebody and do something stupid that's not sincere, okay? Because if you sound fake, you're done. They're going to pick up on that right off the bat. So if you can't compliment somebody, you might want to wonder, ask yourself the question, do you even want to work with that person? Seriously, if you can't compliment them, you might want to think hard about that one, because in this business, we get to pick who we work with, right? And so just something quick, something simple, something sincere, and then the next thing is to create curiosity. Now, a couple of those statements I already said, we're already creating curiosity. I've got this amazing device that's going to revolutionize, anti-aging. I got this device that'll take 10 years off your face in 5 minutes. It's really similar to, if you've been involved for a while, kind of a galvanic spa approach, right? Or a facial spa approach. The difference is that we've got this amazing device that dispenses the world's finest skincare product. And when we apply that product, as you can learn how to do on our half-face demo videos that are right here on our One Team Global Facebook page, and you can watch Anjanelle Davis as she actually talks about rubbing up, going against gravity, following the bone around the eye and up. And if you do that half-face demo, having them just follow your hand movements, then they're going to see that result. And these results, some of these are unbelievably dramatic. They're actually as good or better than the results we were getting with galvanic or facial spa half-face demos, and yet people are doing it on their own face in their own ways. So super powerful, right? And so that would be a product approach. If you're looking for consumers, which we are going to really focus on going forward here with ageLOC Me, then what you want to do is you want to make sure you're doing, 1 or 2 or 3 demos a day, and then you're going to sell at least, 2, 3, 4 devices a week. And you're going to see how that stacks up to significant income. So if it's a product approach, that's probably your approach, or you can tell them, hey, I just found out about this amazing technology, this amazing product. It is 10 times what I've ever used in skincare. It is going to blow you away. You have to see it. And notice my words there. You need to see it. Notice my words, what they're doing. I've found this amazing technology. Well, they're thinking, well, what is it? It is 10 times beyond anything I've ever used. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. We're just raising curiosity. The person's in their mind saying, wow, I wonder what this is. What are they doing? How could it be 10 times better, right? This is what the prospect is thinking. And so you're elevating their curiosity. And what you want to do is get that as high as you can get it and then just leave it there. Just leave it hanging there. Do not satisfy it. This is critical in this inviting process. Otherwise, they're not going to be motivated to take action, right? So that's what you want to do. If you're doing a business approach and you're trying to create curiosity, then I'm going to say to people, I have come across an amazing technology. It's going to revolutionize a $400 billion industry that's literally been stagnant for about 100 years. And this thing is going to flip the whole thing on its head. This is like new school. This is like high-tech 3D printing, like phenomenal technology. You've got to see it. You can even tell them it's called ageLOC Me. And you could just say, I got to show it to you. You got to see what it is, okay? And that's all you say. And then you shut your mouth. If they're a business person, it's a business approach, then you can stop right there, and they're going to ask questions. And as soon as people ask questions, you know that you've got their curiosity high enough for them to ask a question. You're now in the success zone with inviting. And what people do is they then start to think they need to answer the questions and drop themselves out of the success zone. Right? That's not your objective. You want to keep that curiosity high. So when I say you've got to see it, or I've got to show it to you, or I want you to take a look at it, notice those are all kind of visual words: see, show, look, right? And that's because I want to go to their house, or I want them to meet me, at a restaurant or my office or down at the corner Starbucks or something. I want to have a meeting, or if they're long distance or in another country, I want to get them on a full-blown webinar where I can show them the whole thing. They can see it, right? Now, they're not going to be able to experience a demo with you if they're in another country or another state, but you're going to be able to at least pique their interest, and then perhaps, through OTG's network, you'll find somebody that can actually, do a half-face demo with them or show them how to do it at an event or a meeting or something happening in that local area. So that's the power of being part of One Team Global, is that we're all on the same page, we all do the same thing, and everybody understands the process, right? Even this process of inviting is critical to understand. If I'm doing a business approach, I could also tell people that, we're going to capture the bathrooms of the world. You're familiar with Keurig coffee brewers? Yeah. They've sold 150 million brewers. You're familiar with laser or inkjet printers, people's houses? 1 billion printers. How much money do you think people make off those printer cartridges when the ink runs out? How much do you think they make on $40 to $45 a month of coffee consumption a month through those Keurig coffee brewers? Well, we're going to capture another room of the house. We're going to capture the bathroom with an innovative, first-of-its-kind design. No one's ever seen anything like it. Clean sheet design, like from scratch, right? We've got all the patents on it. We're going to control it for 20 years, and we're going to flip this $400 billion market on its head. Think about those, okay? Still those phrases I just gave you right there. Try it, and then shut your mouth, right? Just say it. We're going to flip this thing on its head, and then just be quiet. And listen. And they're probably going to go, well, what is it? Like, I mean, are you kidding? What are you talking about? I mean, I like the idea. Yeah, I understand. I got a Keurig in my kitchen, but so you're going to the bathrooms? When they start saying that stuff, say exactly. That's exactly right. And you know what? And that's a great question. And what I want to do, John, is I want to cover your questions when we meet, okay? You don't want to get into a protracted, like 30-minute phone conversation right then, okay? Now, if they're in another country or something and you have a hard time connecting, you finally get them on the phone, then maybe you could say, hey, can I jump on a Skype with you right now? Or do you want to get on a Fuse meeting with me if you have a Fuse account? You know, and then just show them. Like, show them the pictures of it, right? Share your screen or share your camera and take your age like me and, you know, hold it up and start showing it to them, right? So those are the things that you could do. But generally speaking, what you want to do when you're doing an invite is your objective is to get in person with that individual. You want to meet with them. Why do you want to meet with them? Because you want to do a half-face demo. Whether they're looking at just product or product and business, both of them, you're going to do a half-face demo. Let them feel, touch, experience the product, okay? Let them see the changes in 5 minutes on half their face. Always do the right side of the face. We always know that everybody's going to do the right side, and it's just standard, okay? So that's what you do, and everybody gets a half-face demo. So my objective is to show, have them see it, have them take a look at it, and that means in person, meet with them, right? Well, tell me about like $400 billion. I mean, what's that? It's the global skincare industry, and skincare is anti-aging. It's a phenomenal, huge market, and we have cracked the code. So I answer the question, I say it's skincare, and just kind of watch my hand here. I pique their curiosity, and then they say, well, what do you mean? What market is that? And I say, well, it's skincare. It's the $400 billion anti-aging skincare. As soon as I give any information, I'm starting to satisfy curiosity, but then I want to build that curiosity back up, and I want to do that by saying phrases like $400 billion, literally no innovation. This thing has a 3D laminar flow printer right inside this device, customized skincare. No one in the world can do it except us. Boom! And then shut up again. Don't say anything else again, right? And they're going to go, well, so like, what is it? Show it to me and say, I'd love to do it. You know, how about Tuesday at 3 o'clock or Wednesday at noon, or maybe I can come over on Tuesday morning early. You know, what time works best? I want to show it to you. Bingo, that's exactly what you wanted. They say, well, so like, what are those patents? Like, what do they cover? Say, that's a great question, John. Let's cover all that stuff when we meet, okay? John says, so what do you mean? Is it skincare? You mean, am I going to use skincare? Say, John, you got skin. You ought to use skincare. If you're not, that's a problem, you know? So let's meet, and we'll show you this technology. You're going to be blown away. Increase curiosity again, and then shut up again, right? And then John says, okay, say, look, I want to come show it to you. When can we get together? When can you come to me? When can you come to my office, or whatever it might be, wherever you're going to meet that person? Or, hey, there's a presentation taking place down at the Holiday Inn, you know, on Main Street on Tuesday night, and we're going to have a full briefing, business briefing on this particular technology, because it just is launching right now. And so, you know, that's what you're trying to do, is you're trying to then say, deflect the questions. You really are just going to tell them, write them down. I'll answer every question you got when we sit down together. Okay, I'll make sure you got them. So I got to run. My phone's beeping, you know, got another call coming in, but I just want to just get this set up so that we can meet and talk about it. You got to see it. And then you commit them. So Wednesday at 2 o'clock, Thursday at 3, the meeting, you know, 7 o'clock on Thursday night, my house, your house, lunch, dinner, you know, whatever it might be. And you just want to get in front of people and show them this technology. When you have the ability to get in front of them and pop the top, and you have the ability to then do a half-face demo, and they watch it 3D print that customized product on their fingers, and they do it on their own face in upward motions on the right side, and then you show them the results on their own face, it blows them away. And one of two things are going to happen. Either A, they're going to say, all right, I get it. I understand. You guys are going to capture the bathrooms, man. I'm in. I understand what you're doing here. I want a piece of this. I'll never have a chance to participate like this again. You're right, you won't. So let's sign them up right there, right? Or it's going to turn into a customer. And the customer is going to say, this is unbelievable. I can see it right now on my own face, right? Yeah, I want one of these machines. And you sell them an AgeLock Me right there, and you immediately put them on auto ship, customize their cartridges on the spot. That's what you do, one of those two things, right? And so this is really a simple framework. Complement them, create curiosity. Get that curiosity as high as absolutely possible, and then control yourself, control yourself, control yourself. What is it? How does it work? What are the patents? What's the market? How big is it? What room did you say you're gonna capture? How does it actually 3D print? What's that all? Those are all great questions, Sally. So let me show it to you, and you'll see the answers. I'll give you all the answers when we get together, tomorrow, and I'll show you how this thing takes 10 years off your face in 5 minutes. You will literally be so excited you won't stand it. Okay? Can you see how I'm not satisfying the curiosity? I'm giving them a little bit of the answer, but then I just go right back to the big picture, the big scope, how exciting, how it's going to change their skin, their face. They're going to love what this is. It's just right back to curiosity. It's interesting because when you start talking about curiosity, creating curiosity and not satisfying curiosity, women just understand this a lot better than men. So men, you better figure it out, right? Women, they've done this their whole lives. It's basically playing hard to get, right? They're creating curiosity, not satisfying it, right? It makes people want it even worse. And so that's what you want to do. You want to create that curiosity. Do not satisfy the curiosity. Just little bits. I'll show you that. I'll answer that. We'll address that when we get together. It's always then going right for the commitment, right? Control yourself, control yourself, control yourself, and go right to the commitment. Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever it is. Now let's talk about commitment for just a moment. Don't be afraid to really commit people. Don't be afraid to say, look, if it's somebody you don't know that well, say, we've never really worked together before. So I'm assuming that when we book this deal, if I'm going to drive over to Starbucks, you're not going to forget, right? You got it in your book, got it in your phone, you got it written down, you got it in your appointments, okay? Because I'm super busy, just want to make sure that, we're both on the same page here. We got the same page, same time, same location, because it's moving really fast right now. I don't want to waste your time, and I know you don't want to waste mine, so I just want to make sure we're there, okay? And, sometimes you start to sense people are just patronizing you or placating you and okay, all right, so yeah, I'll meet you at 2 o'clock, I guess, If you get that kind of a response or kind of a weird tone of voice out of somebody, then here's what you do. You say, look, Sue, you don't need to do this. If you really aren't into this, if you feel like I'm putting you out, then you don't need to see it. You can just let this one pass you by. That's okay. And just kind of take it away a little bit. And if they're really not tracking with you and you feel like they're probably not going to show up, they're just telling you they're going to show up, but they're not really paying attention, they're not really locked in on it, yet they're saying, yeah, I'll meet you over there at Marie Callender's at noon. That probably works for me. If you hear the words like, I think that'll work, or I can try to make it, what that means is I'm not coming. I won't be there. Okay, so if you hear, I think I can, or I'll try to make that work, or possibly that's okay, or yeah, maybe that'll work for me. All that stuff's just them deflecting you. What that means, what they're saying is, I'm not showing up. I won't be there. You tell them, hey, can you be at my house? I'm doing this presentation. Can you be at my house at 6 o'clock tomorrow night? I've got 5 friends coming over. I'm just going to do this little demonstration. We're going to put it on everybody's face. We're going to roll 10 years off everybody's face. You're going to be blown away. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I think I can shuffle some things. Yeah, I think I can make that. Okay. What that means is I'm not coming. When they say, I've got it in my phone, I know exactly where you live. Absolutely. I know your house is that one on the corner. Yep. I will be there for sure. When they say that to you, do you know what that really means? That's 50-50. whether they're going to be there or not. Stuff happens. People forget. They get distracted, Something else pops up that they think is more important. It's just life in this business. It's what we deal with, guys, so get used to it. If they swear in blood that they're going to be at your house at 6 o'clock or they're going to meet you at noon, okay, then what that means is 50-50. 50-50 chance I'll be there. If they're saying think, hope, try, maybe, I'll look at it, they're not coming. It ain't going to happen. So you've got to be firm when you commit people. You've got to say, look, my time's really valuable right now. I've got so much interest in this. I'm moving so fast. I just want to confirm that you are going to be there at this time. There's nothing that's going to deter you or stop you from doing that short of some blow-up family emergency, right? Okay, great. Thanks, man. I appreciate your commitment. Appreciate the fact that you're going to be there. I don't want to waste your time. I know you don't want to waste mine. Great. I'll see you then. All right? So that's how you do it. And sometimes people, if you've dealt with them a lot and you know they're flaky, then you drill them and you just say, I want to make sure it's in your phone, okay? If you're not going to come, I'd rather have you tell me no right now than tell me yes and then not show up. Did you catch that phrase? I'd rather have you tell me no right now than to tell me yes and then not show up. Boo, that's kind of tough. You may be sitting there thinking, holy smokes, do you really say that to people, Nathan? Yeah, once in a while. I mean, not all the time. It's rare. But if I feel like I know somebody and I know they're flaky or this person's given me the impression that they're really not going to do what I say, then I get on them. Might as well. You might as well know right now. Why kid yourself? Why go driving all over town and waste gas money, time, and energy and everything else when they're not going to do it? You might as well have them tell you no. And if somebody says no right now, then what do? You basically say, okay, great. No problem. I understand. You're too busy. This is happening. It's not conducive to your work schedule right now, your family schedule, or things are happening or whatever. Okay. Go, great. I get it. That's okay. It's not the right time for you right now. It's understandable. I understand that. How about this, John? Would you mind if I just put it down to call you back in 6 months and just give you a quick update on what I've been doing in this business in that time? And, what do you think they normally say? Well, number one, if they're not really into it right now, they want to get you off the phone anyway, and they have a really high propensity to say, yeah, absolutely, hey, cool, no problem, that'll be great, thanks. Okay, we'll talk to you then, bye, right? I mean, they're trying to end the conversation. Imagine their utter shock when their phone rings 6 months from the day, and guess who's on the other end? Yeah, it's you. And they don't even remember this conversation until you start to jog the memory and say, hey, John, remember we talked 6 months ago today, and I mentioned to you about this phenomenal technology, and you just couldn't make it work right then. It wasn't the right time. And I asked your permission if I could just give you a ring back and give you an update on what I'm doing in 6 months. Well, today's the 6-month day, and I'm just calling to tell you that it's off the charts, man. This is like phenomenal. I don't know what you've been doing the last 6 months, but my world has transformed. You got to look at this. And then just shut up and just listen, right? And either they're going to be ready or not. Either they're going to get to 12 o'clock and they're going to go, you know what, I probably should have met with you 6 months ago. Yeah, let's get together. When do you want to do it? Or they're going to say, you know what, hey man, still not good time. Still not ready yet. Hey, no problem. I'll check back with you in 6 more months if that's okay and just give you a little update. You keep saying that until the person says, I'm never going to be interested, Nathan. Don't ever call me back, okay? You don't need to give me any updates. At that point, you can pull them off the list, all right? But until then, if you're in it to win it in this business, and you're going to be in it for the next 27 years like I've been, every person is a contact. And some people, some of my best people, have taken me 5 years to recruit them because it just wasn't the right time in their life yet. And so this is like really critical, that you don't burn bridges, that every person's valuable. You keep a record of it. If you don't have the OTG Connect app on your phone, you're missing it, guys. That is the way you invite. This is the way you track invites. It's the way you know when you talked to them last. It's the way that you put it in your file in your phone. It just comes up on the 6-month day from the day you asked permission to call them back. Everything is managed right there. And so we're going to be actually refreshing that app with a new release. We're pushing it out. We're going into major recruiting mode here, guys, with the launch of Age Like Me, and you got to get organized. That is a critical little piece you need to have in your business portfolio, basically your tools that you're using on a daily basis. Okay, so let's just recap on this. Okay, Number one, we're going to like catch up, but as soon as we say I'm calling about this breakthrough product or I'm calling about business, then we start the clock and we never go beyond 3 minutes to complete 4 things. We do a brief, sincere compliment. We create curiosity and we get that curiosity as high as we can get it, and then we shut our mouths and we don't satisfy it. When somebody asks a question, rookie distributors go, oh, they want to know everything, and then they just dump on them. It's like they just throw up on them everything they know. And that's what the person is wanting you to do. When they ask a question of you, here's what they're really saying. They're not saying, oh, tell me about those patents, or tell me what the industry is, or tell me about the technology. What they're saying is, look, you're making a demand on my time. You want to come meet with me. You want to show me something. And I'm a busy person, and I want to dispatch this demand on my time. I want to get rid of you. That's what they really mean when they start asking questions in a lot of cases. Not all the time, but in a lot of cases. And you got to understand that this is just a game you both are playing. You're asking for their time and their focus, and they don't want to give it to you, right? And so you got to get that curiosity as high as possible, then don't satisfy it. And if you're good at not satisfying and rebuilding more curiosity in your brief answers and saying, that's great, let's do that when we meet. We'll talk about it when we meet. We'll cover that when we get together. I'll show it to you then. What's the time? And then you move right to the commitment, right? Control yourself, control yourself, control yourself, and then get a firm commitment. So you're not kidding yourself. You're not wasting your time. You're focused on people that are really going to respond, so you create velocity in your business. Compliment, create curiosity, control yourself, and commit them to the actual activity. Okay? That's the art of inviting.